Well folks, I'm down in Devon. 2 and 3/4 hour drive, but check out the view. I mean, the water is as coloured as anything from the storms. And Simon, the owner, was telling me as I do this, he hadn't been out for like 3 weeks, maybe nearly 4 weeks. He hasn't been having a boat out. The water, I've never ever seen it as coloured as this. So I want to say it could be a blank. Basically, all I've come this way for is to get some bites. It's going to blow up in a minute. Not in a minute, It's going to blow up for the winter. That's us done. This is my last trip down here. Funny enough, I had one other trip this year. It's been so windy. But it is an awesome place when you get a blue sky with that cliff. Lovely little beach settled up in there, nestled in there, and people having their crab teas. Perhaps not today, might be having hot cocoa and a hot water bottle. So I'm going to venture out there and see what I can do. I hasten to add, barely any bait. I thought there'd be some mackerel. Apparently not many mackerel, hardly any. I think the tuna have eaten them all. Yee-haw! Can you hear that? That's what I've come for. Silence, solitude. Disappointed that the water's so coloured. I've never been here when it's this colour before. I checked out those buoys over there, tide's ripping that way. I might not have big enough leads, but it's just pulling up now. The anchor's just, hopefully, I've gone slightly deeper than I would have done, trying to find a clear water, but there's no clear water. Like I said, I'm not going to go in miles, you know, in this old boat, it'll take me forever. And this is about, what, 60 years old? So I'm 73. That's 130 years of combined fishing experience. We've got to catch something, people. We've got to catch something. And I heard Simon talking in there, just been talking to myself. These are all old mahogany, original old mahogany boats. So, you know, you can go in a fiberglass one. I had one. I had a fiberglass boat. But there's just something about being in a historic piece of boat like this. Yes, all right, the fishing might not be wild, you know, no 100-pound congers and 200-pound skate and all that, but that's just where you're fishing. If you took this, say, to Scotland or Ireland, you could have a field day. But it's a slower engine, it's an old bob engine, no bob. That's fine, look, you know, I'm out far enough. There's another boat coming out here now. It's another one of his wooden boats. He was saying these would cost at least 40 to 45,000 pounds to build out of solid mahogany now. I mean, it's worth taking a minute just to look at all these rivets, and of course the people who used to fit these were partly frogs. No, not the French frogs, the jumping frogs. And that's where the saying comes from. Rivet, 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 rivet. Bit early for that really, isn't it? Right. Oh dear, I've still got a lurgy, but at least I'm out there pushing it. See what we can do. There's a dog on the beach, and I kid you not, it's at least, you won't even see it from here. It's just on the edge of the waves, obviously throwing things in the water. I can hear him barking, and the sound carries across the waves over the sea at least half a mile. So, some very, very dubious 3 or 4 times old frozen squid. Some old antique leads to go with the antique boat that I've obviously used tin foil. I think this was a Bakewell tart container, little silver one. I put the, to finish off my bits of lead when I'm lead making. You can see the shape of it there, and there is indeed another one, Bakewell tart or mince pie, one of those silver containers. It does the job, and I can afford to lose them. I don't lose much gear. Small hooks, I think that's £30 mono, and I snapped the head off the squid and tipped it on the head. I've seen Wayne do that, and he always does quite well with that. Snap the head off rather than let them chew the head off and you miss it totally, you know, miss the fish. So let's get them down over the side. The other boat's anchored just up, well, straight in a line with me, straight down there. I'm guessing they're anchored. Most people come here, they tend to drift for mackerel, but I seriously think you're stuffed for mackerel with this absolute coloured water. If this was a Bristol Channel and I was out with Tomo, I would be happy as Larry, but I'm not exactly brimming with enthusiasm at the moment, being I've never ever in Devon seen the water this colour before. Now, it could be fresh water that's floating on top of the salt water. It could be the tide, which is a big tide. He said there's been just storm after storm blowing in, big swells. So that's on the bottom. I feel like I'm holding. Only try people, that's what I'm here for. Bites is what I want, and I'm hoping I can find some bream. Hope that dog stops barking as well, because it can be a bit trying after about an hour. So I've got one down here, one out there, one here, and then I'll fish the bream rod straight off the stern. Started with the squid. I've got a couple of last year's frozen mackerel there somewhere, which I was going to put out for my normal thresher or poor beagle shark hunt down here, but with, you know, no charm and the fact the water's coloured as hell. Shame, I thought I would be in with a chance. Well, listen, Graham, it's not over yet, mate. We only just started. Baits aren't even on the seabed yet. Wouldn't it be something to catch a cod in this dirty water? Alright, 2 down, 19 to go. This one's just going to drop on the side. Fixed ball is my sort of catfish, carp, pike fishing line with 50-60 pound braid on there. Nomura rod, which is sort of light spinning rod, but I'm going to try it with this very, very good rods. That's a Nomura, that sort of blue one's a popping rod for lures. It feels, just, you can feel the, with braid, you can feel the lead hit the bottom. That feels sort of sand to me, which is not really what I wanted. I want a bit of reef. Oh, thought where'd a ratchet go then. Smith, you're on watch duty, please. I'm going to now get the small hooks out, which I hopefully might get me a bite. I just want some bites, you know, it's been so dire, the beach fishing and that. I just fancy getting some bites. Gonna be fishing with a 3-hook paternoster, which I made up by my own fair hand last night. I'm using, I'll show you the hooks later on. I'm going to try them. I mean, we need some fish to bite on the hooks, obviously, but trust me, they will work. Carp hooks. Well, they're not carp hooks, they're just hooks, aren't they? Like, you say you have a carp hook and a tope hook and a this hook. Most of the time, different hooks will catch different species. This is the way I do it, save money. Just cut some splits in a piece of cardboard like this, and then you can unwind them. Tie the swivel on, tie the lead on, The reason I dropped the conger rods down first is to get a sort of bit of smell in the water and see if the smaller fish are bream. Sometimes I get gurnards and stuff. Used to snip all the tag ends off. Now I'm just experimenting by not snipping the tag ends off. Why would I snip the tag ends off? The fish are never going to see it, are they? There we go, guys. There we go, there we go, there we go. There's a bite on that light rod there. Just about to go over the side. It could be dogfish, because I did say I think I felt the lead hit on sand. So if I miss this, it's probably a doggy. No, it's a fish. It is a fish. Now that can't be a bream. I'm still calling this a doggy. We've all got to start somewhere. %, I think that's a dog. I don't think that's a small. There we go, called that one right for a change. Quite a big dogfish actually. Here we come aboard, sir. Here we go, look. He must be feeding. That's on the bottom, even though it's coloured. I'll get that hook out. He's left that. I'm feeling that might be bream. I'm going to drop this back. Just leave that down there. I'm getting bangs and pulls and everything. I'm not sure. They might actually be bream. Oh, that's a fish. That is a fish. I'm fearing another dogfish, guys. Just out of habit, try and, if you don't have a level wind on the reel, spread the line and lay it smoothly, not wildly from side to side. Keep it nice and smooth. And that is another doggy. Over we go again. If I get too many doggies, but I won't know till I send the small hooks down. Too many doggies means I'm generally going to be over sand. Although they can be a bit of fun to catch, and you're grateful for bites. And I did just say earlier that I have come to get some bites, and that is what I've been getting. And so I've wound them round and round and then clipped them in the cardboard, try and wrap them easier. Did I see that out the corner of my eye? Well, the bites are slowed there, so I'm throwing this one down. Just a 3-hook paternoster. Tiny lead on the back. Tied them up last night. I'll show you the hook in a minute. It's going to be a bit windy. Wind's coming up a bit. And carp lead. What a thing to use sea fishing, a carp lead, but I'm going to. And I'm going to drop it down fairly close to one of the conger baits. What's left of them, I should think, and we'll find out if there are any bream down there. I feel I had too many pulls and bangs. Oh, that might be snagged. That's got conger look about it. Right, that one's down. Leave that there. Smith, watch out, rod boy. I just had a feeling that's either snagged. Just lift it up. And there he is, there's the kickback, see it? No, and I missed it. That was a fish on there. We both thought at the same time. Look, there's a jerk at one end and a jerk at the other. What a setting. I'm going to check this out. I'm not sure there's not a small doggy on there. It could even be a bream because I've got small enough hooks that a big bream would take it, but no, that was a conger. Just to show you, look how it spun and twisted all that up. 100% where the Kong wheel's done that. Untangle it, might have to put a new trace on and send it back down again. And that's why I didn't hook him. He's been spinning and spinning on there. Probably a small one. Well, no bites on those small hooks, but I am getting quite a few tugs and bangs which feel very, very dogfish like. And I purposely come here because there's pot boys over there, so I figured, oh, tell a lie, look, there's a small conger that tangled me up last time. A real small one there. It is a small one. Be pleased to catch it off the beach though, in fairness. Almost sure that was what was twisting up the line there on that one. And nothing on these small hooks. That is very strange. Maybe I'm not on the bottom. Ah. Get a second light rod out, I think, and now I can cast that farther back and see if there's bites back there. Look, I'm getting bites on this, but they're little tappy bites. I still think there's bream there. Small hooks way to the back. I just drop them down because sometimes the smell off the big baits drifts back down, and the gurnards and small bream and stuff will lay back behind the big baits. Very slight ripple on there now. It's a massive kayak outing just in by the beach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 of them. That looks like a bite strap. Might be the lead spinning. The thing is, once I ran out of bait, I would normally think, oh, no problem, I'll go pulling lures around for bass. But the water's so coloured, I know it's an absolute waste of time. On goes a squid head. Look, it's not the freshest squid, I'll be the first to say that. There's a bite on this one. Oh god. Definitely getting bites on the getting bites on the small hook way back, but I don't think they're bream. They must be pouting or something like that, because I can hear the dog barking. maybe all the people on the beach are saying, will that guy ever stop talking out in the boat? I've got to check these small hooks. I mean, it's bizarre that they're not hammering away. Oh, is there life on it? I wonder, God, wouldn't it be nice to have a fresh mackerel? Oh my. I don't think this is, but pointless sort of feathering in this coloured water. There's something there. Doesn't feel, maybe it's a tiny bream. Pouting, come on. In the comments page, quick, before I get it up. Small dogfish. Small bream I'm going for there. What is that? What are those? Oh, I got it right the first shout, to be honest. Absolutely the first shout. Look at that. First shout and a tangle, but who cares? Quite big pouting. Wow, that's what you call a cluster and pouting. Look at those two. And of course we all know where they're going, as I'm short on bait. This is what the conger feed on a lot of the time. These bigger baits have gone a bit quiet. Do you know, I've got a feeling they've been mullered by the small fish. This one needs checking. And no wonder. There's a creature on the end of it. Oh, I've had a couple of good tangles. So I've cast one way back and I'm going to cast another one a little bit closer, because I'm figuring this might be pouting as well. My wanted bites, I certainly got that. No, that one kicked then. This could be a dogfish or a bream. It's coming up a bit in the water. It's neither. It looks like a pollock. Is that? What is that? Oh, lovely whiting. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome aboard, my son. Do you know, Simon was only talking that his dad, who's 93, actually comes out here in the winter in November for the whiting to get some frozen down. Wouldn't it be nice if if he comes off the hook. Wouldn't it be nice if I got some of those? I'm going to take those back. Oh, happy days. That's something different. That's small conger. I know they're not big, of course they're not. Small conger, dogfish, pouting and whiting. More baits. Vicar, please. I don't feel a big fish. Probably another doggy. Yep. Another dog. Down to the dog. That one was on pouting. It just out of interest. Piece of pouting fillet. And that's going to go back down. Hopefully for a second time. Topped off by a squid head there. Now that's a... Can't say I don't feed them well. A little bit past the sell by date on the squid though. What a day. We never got a day like this in the summer. Bizarre. Just looking down the barrel of late autumn, early winter. Gratefully accepted. I bet all the beach guys are out as well. Because with conditions like this, it can be actually tough on the beach. It'll be night fishing that does it there. So this is interesting. I just wound up one of the small hooks. On it is a pouting. And if you heard me say pouting is what primary bait is for the conger, that's what they feed on, especially at night. I've got a small pouting, but check this poor guy out. There you go, there's Mr. Pouting. Fair play you say, but look at something that's had a chunk out of his back, hasn't it? Had to go at the tail first and a chunk out of his back. So he's pretty well had it. Well, he's definitely had it coming in this boat. More bait. I think I might drop him down, segment him half there. I've got a fillet of mackerel I think on this one. I'll get them knocks and bangs, but it's not like they're amounting to anything. Let's drop that pouting head down, because if you have small fish nibbling away, they'll soon get rid of the fillet. They'll shred it down, especially pouting and whiting, those sort of fish. They'll strip a soft fillet down in about 2 minutes. Just knock that one out of gear in case. And that's a tangle. That is the same thing with a small conger. If you remember I did it last time. Oh, there's a fish. Probably another dog. There's just not enough weight to it for anything bigger. It could be one of the small congers that's took a chunk out on that pouting's back. It is a fish eat fish world down there, folks. Don't ever think it's not. There's a big boat over there, might be one of those tuna boats, I'm not sure, or fisheries vessel. No, they're big dogfish, I will say that. Look at that. Right, I've untangled that conger trace that spun out, and that's what I've got. Yeah, lovely jubbly. If there is a bigger conger down there, that should draw him in. And I'll let it down nice and slow. Especially with a short trace, it might spin up around the main line, so don't drop down too fast. You want the tide taking the bait away from the lead, so it's pulling away like that. Best to drop it down carefully, and at least you know it's fishing properly. No small fish, I don't get that. I've dropped them down here on the theory the small stuff is chewing it off the big baits. That hasn't worked, so I'm going to have to cast them to the back and then I'll be moving. Where to though? No echo sound, it's all guesswork. think I might clean that whiting actually, because that's a good eater. Didn't bring cool box one. I have got the cool box, I didn't bring the cool packs. I probably wish I hadn't done that. I could use that for bait, couldn't I? I'll tell you what, years ago, a 20-pound cob would eat this, no problem. That is the truth of it. There we go. It's quite a nice whiting. Shame I can't catch some more. Something heavier on the small hooks, but again, could be double pouting, could be, won't be double doggy. Hopefully you can't get that bad. This one's digging. This might be a different fish. This could be a bream. Oh, what the, oh, what, please. Wait till I tell Simon his dad will be out here tonight, I should think. Look at this one. Oh my word. That is a spanker. Let's get a better camera angle. That one there, boys, is a nice big whiting. Wow. I wonder if there's an outside chance of it being a cod here. We know where this boy's going. He's absolutely throated it. And you can see the pin teeth they've got there. Let's get him popped on the head, give him the bye-byes. Put him to bed with a hot water bottle or a cold can of Coke. Wow, that's a nice, that's fish of the day. Well, do you know what I'm thinking? I've actually got some black lug wraps. One and a bit. The tide's dying on me. I'm throwing, can you believe this? We're looking down the barrel of November. I'm cooking. I don't think I've caught whiting here before, but then, in fairness, I've never fished this late in the year. Bites again on that. I'll put the whiting generally like mackerel strip as well. What should I do? I think I will fish those wraps out and give them a go. Well, all quiet on the western front, even on the whiting front. Absolutely idyllic. It's honest to God like July. We're going to have to take another sweater off. So it's tea time. The tide has died, that's where the fish are going. So I might have to wait an hour and a half. I don't know. It's coming off spring tides. The water clarity hasn't changed a bit. It's just coloured. Few birds spotting around, you know, it's picky. I'm hoping they're going to be looking for something like albacore tuna coming up. I fear not, with this clarity they wouldn't be able to see anything to catch. So I think I don't normally move much, guys. I really don't. Generally I sit in one spot literally sort of all day. Might move once. I'm not one to go jumping. Look at the grass is always greener, because I know it's not. Just as you move from here, the tide turns and the fish can come on the bite. And you just got to sit there. That seemed to pull down quite a bit. There's crabs down there because they mash up the bait. No. I've got to try those worms a minute. And the other thing I'm trying are these crisps. They tell me they're quite good. Is it me, or do you get something like 9 in a packet now and the rest it's blown up with air? I'd love to weigh them. It says there's so many grams in it. I'd love to weigh how many's in it. Like 1/10 of a potato or something. Should be shark drifting. Back in the Isle of Wight, thrasher fishing. Weather would look like this, it wouldn't surprise me if they're still there, even into November. Oh, the other guys are moving. Hopefully it won't come and bother me. Well, another fish on the light rod, so I don't know what this one is. Big pouting. Oh, it's spinning. That means if it's spinning, oh, yeah, whiting. Oh, why can't I catch these beach fishing? Look at them. Do you know there's some nice whiting. I hope this is a portent of the beach fishing to come. And he's just hooked under the chin, which is very bad luck for him. And that's what's shredding my baits. But I am going to try that black lug in case there is one of those rare things. I'm going to spell it C-O-D in case there's one of those down there. Do you know what? I'd be sort of happy just picking away at those every now and then. Oh, I take my shirt off and the wind's come up. So I got some of these left over from my shore trip, look. I think, unless it's just a load of newspaper. It's called a wrap of black lug. On the boat they can be very good, but from the beach I just find they go to liquid. They need to be fished as a wrap with a squid. That's the truth of it, I find anyway. But we're going to try these because cod and whiting, absolutely love these. Can only take a go, guys. Oh, and I've got to show you what these hooks are, haven't I? I've taken my jumper off and now the wind's come up. That's not fair. The other guys actually came past, didn't say what they caught, but I told them I just had bits and pieces. I guess they've gone in. I'm going to leave that as squid on there, to be honest. And there we go. Black lug tipped with squid. Plain black lug up there. Plain black lug down here. I think I'm going to go and double these up. Well, there's a hint of just a hint of a tide there. Those guys have gone in. I'm now, as usual, the only man not standing. Well, standing and floating. Thank God I am floating. I love nothing better than being on my own. I have to say, there's a lot of people, they like to go with somebody fishing. And if I go on a boat on my own, I am absolutely in seventh heaven. Florida Keys, anywhere. A lot of people say, oh no, I can't go 9 miles out, blah, blah, blah. Well, perhaps you're not supposed to, but I do. God, I had some fish over there. So easy, to be honest, compared with how our fishing is here. Something's here. Something's taken a liking to the worm, and unfortunately it's not a whiting. It is a pouting, but he's scoffed that worm. Just down there. See the black lug there? So there's still, well, you do actually get, that's what happens to the worm. I'll chuck this one back for good luck. I've got enough for bait at the moment. He's gone down, yeah. If he floats, along comes Mr. Blackback the seagull. Actually, my other baits are stripped clean. Wow. Let's get some more down there. Wow, that's a really light aircraft up there. You won't see it. It's barely sounds, no engine. It's almost like an electric powered glider or something. I just had a couple of good bangs on this one. That's the big bait, and the wind's come up and it's come round from just off southwest here. So being slack tide is going to push me around this way with the boat, and the lines will go back there. And I know I'm turning because the angle on those buoys where I first stopped is different. So just hope I can get a good couple of hours now with a flood tide, because if the tide moves I might get fish. Not sure whether to move. Change of the tide might make the water clarity better, but if not, the stuff on the bottom, although the surface activity mackerel and that's not there, the bottom fishing is. I've got some of one pack, been in the freezer God knows how long, a pack of Grant's sand eels. I think I might try those in sort of half sections as well, sometimes tipped with a bit of that black lug. And I've kept the liver of that big whiting. I've got to gut this guy as well. So it's nice to catch some good whiting. We'll see what these can do. I haven't used all the black lug. As you can see, just the front half section of piece of sandal, half a sandal with a little bit of black lug, and then the tail end. And look, you can just try it. That's all there is to it. You just got to keep trying. But whiting also take these. The downside is the doggies like sandal because they're quite an oily bait. People don't think that, but there's a lot of oil in sandals. Here another one, a species that seems under the cosh. I heard they're catching them by the metric ton to mince them up for fish meal or chicken food or something. Isn't it bonkers? Because so many fish depend on the sand eel. All the birds as well. You know, that's what I'm thinking. The whole ecosystem below the sea in the UK really revolves around, can't even say mackerel. It's more sand eel than anything, because the mackerel are seasonal. They've all been eaten by the tuna. So we haven't got a great deal going for us, really. Those tuna will be coming up the beaches and digging up their own black lug soon. Oh, there we go. What's that? That looks suspiciously like a small fish nibble. That's the head of the pouting. I'm just going to raise it slowly, see if there's any weight to it. Nothing. Small fish nibbling, probably the pouting. Pouting, eating, pouting. What a day, even with that little ripple. Just unbelievable. I've got to clean that whiting. I wonder if I'm going to get any more. Keep expecting to see when it's a nice ripple like this. It's just too many years of shark fishing. A fin cutting through the surface. Don't you worry, I've got the 50 wide there just in case anything comes. I've got the shark traces. One of these whiting go over, no problem. I mean, you go to somewhere like, when I used to do a lot of marlin fishing, Cabot St Lucas. Everybody goes to Cabot St Lucas, it's a famous place. We used to go sight fishing for makos. That's the honest truth, sight fishing for them. Cast out a light 30-pound stand-up stick, sight fishing for them. And I've had hammerheads as well like that. And that was only about because the Mexican guys just marlin, because they want tip, marlin, you know. And they don't tell you, as British people, well, some of our guys like catching big fish anyway. If they're not catching marlin, they want to pull on something. And they say, oh, maybe we might see hammerhead, we might see mako. What? You see them? Yeah, they see them. They drive past them. Most of the time you just drive past them. They don't fish for the sharks. I've done a bit of shark fishing over there, quite a bit. Nearly lost my finger, nearly lost my whole hand once. Another story to tell. Not going to lose my hand to a whiting, am I? Well, it's better fish on the sand hill, guys, but I fear, having mentioned earlier that dogfish do tend to like when you're shore fishing sand hill. I'm sure this might be a dogfish. I may be wrong. I'd love to be wrong, and it's a lovely big whiting. A few kicks on it. Yeah, it's kicking and banging a bit. It's gone heavy. The skip rod. Oh, it's a doggy. It's a doggy. I did mention they like sand hills, didn't I? I wish I'd never said it now. The upshot of it is he's just lightly hooked, and he can go straight back over the side. Gone. Oh, so that was sand hills, and look, two of them are stripped. Really, the three sandals are gone. Three sandals. It sounds like a sort of comedy act, doesn't it? I don't have to go with the black lug. I think I'll go with the three sandals again. Oh, and then there was two. Probably one dogfish tangled up both sets of gear. Oh, this is exhausting. Now that one kicked and the other one didn't, so I'm kind of thinking it might be two different fish. Keep them both coming if I can. What I need to do is go to a second-hand shop, yes, and get another set. That's the way to go fishing. Look at that, that's the way to do it. Like washing line. The dogfish is barely hooked, so he's going to go first. He's off. Second one is Mr. Whiting, who is on his way to the box. And the conger, although be it small, it's another one of those dinky ones. Just a small one. See how it, now listen, can you see how he's twisted all that line around the lead? And that's considered too small to pull his bait away. Whew. Maybe the tide has just turned. When I came here back in the summer, I was talking. I didn't do really any good for congers, only small. We used to get, when I first came here, and I'm fairly new to this area, it was good for congers. There's no big congers like 10 to 15, 20 pound now. I'm saying that, and other people in there have told me that it's just these tiny small ones. So I thought, why am I conger fishing for real baby congers and there's no big ones around? So I put another set of small hooks on, and lo and behold, along comes a whiting, a big one too. Look at these kiddies. These are not small whiting, are they? Good Lord. So what a good chance. So I might take all the conger rods off and take a gamble and come on tiny hooks. I'll show them to you in a minute. They're really strong. As long as I've got a strong line and a small hook, you can still catch a big fish on a small hook. I've got the bonus of these guys. Yum yum. Guys, get the frying pan. Oh my God, look at the size of this whiting. I know he's got my other line. Look at these. Even down the West Country in the winter, big whiting like that he'd be well pleased with. Look at these fish. Oh, what a... Oh, I haven't got... You're going to need a bigger cooler, buddy. Oh, I'm going to small hooks now. Just leave one conger rod down. I think I can't neglect fishing like this. I've changed this one down to smaller hooks. I still haven't shown those secret small hooks. Christ, I had a bite then, it hit the bottom. They're on it. That was hanging up in the water. I let it hit the bottom. Guys, he just got slammed. That feels like a mackerel. That could be a mackerel, don't know. A lot of kicking and banging going on. No, it is too, that's why it felt different. Wow, look at these whiting. Like, look, I'm not keeping these, they're too small, but they're jumbos. Oh my God. These are what I call beach whiting, this size. You'd be pleased to get these off the beach. They nailed that as soon as it hit the ground. Look, you think they're not big whiting? There's my bait. That's a big mackerel. So you can get an idea of these fish, why I get so excited. So I don't get boat fishing much, really, to be honest. I still got it though. Unseen adversary, guys. On the small hooks. I've got to take it easy. I can't believe it might be a conger and I've taken my conger trace and bait off. There's no way it's a whiting, it's too big for that. Now that's a conger twanging. I feel sure. What a session. What is that? Oh yeah, it's a proper conger now. Hang on guys. Still a relatively small one, but way bigger than the others. Here he comes. There we go. He's probably gonna, oh the hook's just there. He's a bit bigger, not that much bigger. But that's on the small whiting hook, that was. I can get him off. There. Yeah, I was going to show you the hook I've been catching, which is a very, very strong one. Not selling them, just saying what they are. Yeah, I'll even turn the name over. But they're called the McGrips Curved Shank, size 6. And you see I've been getting through them, but they're slightly curved shank. It's just a hook, guys, but that's for freshwater fishing, size 6. I'm catching all my fish on a size 6 hook in the sea. So it does work. And it costs nothing to put a couple of packs of these in with your sea gear. You've got a big hook, they can't get it in their mouth with a big bait, you think maybe a big fish, but listen, I caught some nice fish today. All good eating fish as well. Wouldn't want to eat the conger, mind. So let's get this rigged up. Oh, the other thing I'm going to tell you, yeah. So when you get slack tide, I'm fishing with a paternoster, lead at the bottom, 1, 2, 3 hooks, like a Christmas tree. That's fine if the tide's pushing. When it dies, and there's species like whiting, which are bottom feeders, gurnard, that type of thing, I'll sometimes peel a bit of extra slack off. So the lead's here, and then those hooks fall back like this on the seabed, you know, almost like you're fishing off the shore. So you can drop all 3 hooks on the seabed, and generally the first one that catches will be the one at the back, which will then be the one you've sort of laid down, will be your top hook. But by putting them on the bottom, you've got more chance of ground feeding species like the whiting. That seems to have been what's happened here, and that's what I'm doing. But some of these things you just do from experience of years. You think, oh, I'll slack that right back so the paternoster lies on the ground, saves me changing rigs. So another tip there, and I think a couple of hooks on the other rods, and just leave one conger rod out. And just look at that. That is worth 220 miles of driving, getting up early in the morning. You know, shame I don't live down this way really, but I like the clear water, and today is coloured, so I'm fishing for ground species. And I am, if I pan around, there is nobody here. Tide is now started to flow because the wind's here, so it's wind and tide together. They should hold me straight. So the lines are all over the place at the moment. I'm going to check up there on the rope, make sure I haven't gone lines gone through the rope. Then I'm going to cast them out that way. I was going to re-anchor, but basically, if you take the length of the anchor rope going that way, anchors here, boats there, I've now swung 180 degrees. So I've covered quite a big area. I sort of don't see the point in re-anchoring. So I probably will sit here, run the tide flows that way, pulls a bit. I'm hoping I'm going to pick some more fish up. Very tentative bites at the moment, but that's just turning. And I don't have an untold amount of bait except big stuff, you know, those pouting heads, mackerel heads, squid heads, stuff like that. Go, the bite. The wind's going to get up a little bit there, might make it noisier than it might. I've been perch fishing literally yesterday, got some worms left over, and these are just regular earthworms, and I'm going to fire them down and see if the whiting like those as well, because we catch flatfish on them, so I'm pretty sure they will enjoy them. Pretty sure the worms won't enjoy it. We'll see what we get. earthworms and a piece of prawn. You can't say you don't see different things on TA fishing. We have a go for anything and everything, using anything and everything. Squid and black lug on there. I'll be very surprised if we don't pick the old fish up now because the tide's moving. Of course, it could be totally wrong. It could be just that there's a reefy area up there, but I would have put that down as sort of sand. Right, set. And we'll bung one on here as well. The old potting boat's going in there now. Obviously the nights are coming in and I've got to watch my time. I'm watching the sun. I'm going to lose an hour's fishing, so probably 4 o'clock I'll have to call time. First bite for a while. I've been tidying the boat up, but yes, it is another smoker. Ooh, look at the size of that puppy. What a setting. Great big whiting like that, and that cliff in the background. Happy days. Happy throats. Right in the kisser. And yes. Oh, back come the pouting. 2 at a go. A line of cloud. It might be the edge of the high pressure and the low pressure is the other side of it. So I might just have picked the right day to come. So if you stand with your back to the wind, which I am here, go 180 with your arms. To the right is the high pressure, to the left is the low pressure. Whichever way the wind is blowing on your back, you can tell, just like a sort of clock. Well, you can see what we mean about the minuscule conger. They're not exactly the 15-pounders that we used to get there, but still, it's something to catch, isn't it? Something to catch. Shows you down there. I wonder why so many small ones. Good fun off the beach, though. Guys, I've done one battery. It's just kicked off big time. I must have had another 10 fish. I've got a double header here. You would check out the size of this pouting. I'm in a mess, guys, covered in slime. I've got obviously a big eel on. He's either took the small hook or he's took the pouting that's took the small hook. I'd like to see it. I would like to see it without losing it on that small hook. I'm okay for drag. And they can bite through at any time. And not one black bream, which is hard to believe. Let's see it, come on. Hate losing fish. At the last minute when you can't see, I know it's a conger eel, but the twanging, my God, it'd be some whiting, wouldn't it? If there's a whiting, it wouldn't fit in the boat, never mind the cooler. I got me whiting fever. Mr. Chain Blue Lightning. Well, Mr. Chain Blue Lightning, move a muscle, twitch a rod, bait a hook. I'll pepper you full of holes. Here comes Mr. Conger. Oh, ho, ho, look at that tiny hook. And that conger's a nice one. Oh my God. That one, people. Now, he could ping off as soon as I touch the leader. I've got to watch the other loose hook, so. He's doing his conger death spin. I don't think I'm going to get a lift out of this guy, because if he slaps those other loose hooks around me, they're going to go in my arm, so. Getting a bit sketchy. I don't need anything pulling off. So he is going to get released by the boat. I can get the T-bar in him. Gone. Oh, mama, what a fight. Well, it's getting there closing time, guys. I'm nearly out of bait. Still going. And the doggies have returned. But then I'm on, I think I was on mackerel there. Oh. The mackerel is virtually pourable onto the hook, but it is about a year and a bit old. Probably last time I was down there I loaded up on mackerel. This year, I don't think I've had a mackerel. Still getting a few bites though, no question. The tide's running. If I had some good bait, well, I don't think I could catch any faster, to be honest. Sun's going down. I've got to watch the running back in. It's only in there, it's not far. 15 minutes, not even that. What a day, weather-wise and fish-wise. And I'm going to treat myself to a burger on the way home. I was going to go for a pub meal, but it's too expensive. Look. Because it's getting dark an hour earlier. I might just well put an hour on the road, go home and have something local, and I can have a beer at home to celebrate. I've not had one bream. I find it most peculiar. As Simon said, there was some bream out here. Yeah, very few mackerel apparently. Crikey, I really have mullered all my old bait freezer. I'm down to cutting the black leg in half. Cubes of prawn. Just enough to make some hook baits. I think I've got one more drop after this. The other guy's over there, he's gone. Loads of birds here. My goodness, what are they going for? Is it that time in the afternoon or evening? I better check that all out because I've got the 50 wide with me. It's nestling over there. There could be some albacores coming up. I've got the flying fish for putting just under the surface. Mind you, hook's not great. And you can make it swim near the surface. Look, by doing this, you can bend, you know, the wings as it were out. Pectorals. These birds are very active. There's bass coming up. Something's cooking. Something is cooking somewhere. It is that time. No, they're all going back to the cliffs. Maybe it's just a little bit of bass they're looking for. I don't see anything visual going to kick off here because the colour in the water, but I just, whoa, hey, I might be wrong. Yeah, nobody's really targeted the albacore. Guy had them at the back of the Isle of Wight many years ago because I used to get the lures from him from Americas. Oh, there we go. The 7-strand lures. And he used to go out and catch the albacore a long way off the island, way off. These sort of 15-pound fish, something like that, I think they were. This is a small eel playing with it. Very small eel. There's a nice pull of tide now. She sees the state of my trousers and knees and everything. And the smell of the fish, she knows definitely where I've been. Out in the boat, chopping up stuff. I love it. Hacking, chopping, chumming, anything sort of sharky. That made a funny noise then, didn't it? There he is again. I missed him just now. I think that's a small fish. How wrong did I call that? It's a ka-chunking great big whiting. Oh my God, I can barely swing that one. Look at this. Who'd have thought it? I've called loads of the fish wrong today. Called loads of them wrong. Look at that whiting. All good eating fish, that's the thing. Nearly out of, I nearly out of plate, and I had 2 on jumbos. Oh, just look at these. It's like miniature cod fishing, guys. I don't think I've experienced anything like it. I certainly haven't down here. Really good fishing. And good eating. I'm just gutting the fish, cleaning another batch. I've had another 4 big whiting. And this one's gone off. And I'm pretty sure it's not a whiting. It actually peeled line off. What an evening. Ooh. Hopefully that's in the right angle. This will be the last fish, otherwise the sun will go down. I'll need a torch to get in, and trust me, I have brought a torch with me. Got to be, I guess, in a conger, but I've caught quite a few of these wrong today. Heavy fish. It's actually coming up quite shallow, if that makes sense, up there. It's got that whiplash like this feel about it. It'd be nice to finish with a nice conger. I've got no more bait, that is literally it. This deck's littered with big whiting. Shows you what action you can have when you start dropping those hook sizes. And listen, the paternoster is on 30-pound mono all the way through, no light line at all. Are they bothered? No. Very curious what this is. It's coming up shallow. Got to be a conger, I'd say. Yeah, it's a conger. Oh, there you go, pinged off. I guess a fish about 8-9 pounds, something like that. Right, I'm obviously going to throw this out. While I clear the boat now, we finish cleaning the fish there. I think that was on a piece of prawn.